Tonight we're talking about Go Kit power, so be more or less a discussion again. The slide 2. So I called my friend Paul White, and if he had some pictures he could send me. Sent me several. So we're starting out small here. Here's some ideas. We have some AA, AAA, and the battery looks like, and rechargeable batteries. So that's, I guess, the smallest form factor here. Let's go to slide 3. So slide 3, this is a picture from Paul White. This is an alien spaceship charger. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong on that. We'll come back to that one. Okay, let's go to slide 4. Okay, bigger but still portable. We have these iron phosphate batteries. A couple examples, 9 amp hour, 12. And these are really handy for Go Kit. And you can see they have the little mini, let's go to slide 5. And Paul sent me a picture of a charger for a can of green beans. Thought that was interesting. Let's go to slide 6. Okay, and bigger battery still. We have a 40 amp hour lithium iron phosphate plus charger. Be great for slide 7. So this is my setup, one of my setups. So this is my radio that I'm using now. I use this 12 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, and that one I can run any power level. I have my GMRS radio. I like to use those protective rails, and there's a guy that makes, and that I just shove it into a little backpack on it. And then I use miniature Anderson connectors, and I have like a bus bar of those Anderson connectors, so I can connect multiple radios, one battery. Let's go to slide 8. Then we have portable power stations. So what I have here is a little power station there on the right. It has a small inverter, which I never use, but it puts out DC. There's the old cigarette lighter style, and then it has various USB ports where you can draw power out of. And those are what I use. And then you can recharge it with a solar panel. It's the same brand, Gulu. It's a folding 100-watt solar panel in this case, which is plenty of power. You could run all day with that. The Gulu brand is just something my daughter chose, and then I bought it for my daughter. This is a small power station, so I can transmit on 20 watts as long as I want to, but if I transmit on 50 watts, after a few seconds, it shuts itself down, and that's super inconvenient, but it's okay for portable power station. Let's go to slide 9. Okay, and then I asked David Gilmore to send me what he has, and he sent me this picture. This is more or less a permanent setup. Here we have 14 kilowatt hours total, which is quite a bit of energy storage. We have 2 power stations working together here, each 3.5 kilowatt hours, and then each one has an additional 3.5 kilowatt hour expansion battery. And these connect through an automatic transfer switch to a circuit breaker. Automatic switch over and the grid goes down, or his main actually runs off grid all the time, but if his main power goes out, I guess. Let's go to slide 10. Okay, this is part of my setup here. So I built a wood shed and I have solar panels on it, and I have another shed in the background with solar panels. Those two combined give me about 5 kilowatts nominal. I actually can bring in more than that from time to time. Anyway, so this is what I run off during the day, and then I switch back over to. And I talked about solar power before. I just cannot get enough. Let's see. Let's go to slide 11, and hopefully Paul is on the air because I've been ribbing him. This is KF7TGD. Okay, so if we go back to slide 3, that alien spaceship charger, that's actually a car booster. If your battery's dead in your car, you can pick this up and start it. Right, spaceship. Are there any comments? Anybody have any tips or ideas they want to share?
KB7ITU.
Go ahead, Steve.
So one thing that I hadn't thought about when I started using the lithium iron phosphate batteries is charging them portable, right? So if you're out camping or something like that, and you need to charge those batteries, unless you buy a specific battery, a lithium iron phosphate battery that will accept the alternator's charge, a lot of them will not do that. So I bought a converter that actually converts DC to DC, so it will So we'll condition and charge a lithium iron phosphate battery. They're very inexpensive. Mine happens to be a Renogy, and it works extremely well. So I can, and it charges quite quickly, but it keeps from, for if you hook a lithium iron phosphate battery up to a standard alternator, it's going to ruin it. So anyway, they do make it's not tiny, it's not small, but it definitely does the job. KB7ITU.
Okay, thanks for that, Steve. And by alternator, I think you mean, I'm assuming, connecting your car battery, right? And that voltage is too high, especially with so the lithium iron phosphate battery will not accept it because the voltage is too high. Is that correct?
Affirm, that is correct, you bet.
W7HPS, just listening in.
Okay, great. Any other comments?
N7RGW.
RGW?
Yeah, I just recently purchased a 100 amp lithium iron phosphate battery. I'm charging it from my solar panels, but I had to buy a new charger controller because the original one was made for lead acid, and that can make a difference, as Steve was mentioning. You have to make sure that the lithium-ion batteries, when they're charging, are compatible with whatever means you're using.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yes, the voltages are not the same. They're close, and as we talked about in a previous training, lithium-ion, it's okay not to fully charge. In fact, if you're going to store them for a length of time, you want to leave them partially discharged. They last longer. Totally the opposite from lead acid. Okay, anyway, any further comments or ideas?
Break.
Go ahead, break.
Whiskey Zero Lima Foxtrot Zulu. Yeah, just going to add on to that. So the LiPo4s, the reason you have to have the specific chargers or charge controllers is because of the electronics in the batteries. The batteries have to keep their temperature at a certain level, and so a regular charger could potentially overcharge it. So whether it's a standard battery charger that you put on your car or your charge controller versus the lead. The other thing you have to be careful of, especially out here where we're at, if you like the couple of the LiPo4s that I have, the ones that I have, they're all self-heating, so they make sure that they maintain the correct temperature, not to damage the internal components and the electronics. So that's just something to be aware of. They're great because they're light and compact, but as long as you have the right type of lithium controller or charger, they work fairly well. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, especially for the smaller portable ones, they don't have, there's some stuff in there, but it's not like the big ones, my solar setup, where you don't play nice, it won't connect at all. Anyway, there was somebody else had a comment. Go ahead. Okay, I heard somebody break squelch, but didn't hear a call sign. Their relay. Okay, again, I'm going to call for comments or ideas. Okay, kind of a short training tonight. Thanks everybody for participating. This is KF7TG handing it back to net control.